And we are live at twitch.tv/nickpaulygee. What up, internet? What up, chat? What up, YouTube? You know who it be. It's me, your brother from another mother, nickpaulygee, aka the Mississippi Lucas player, the Wi-Fi Lucas player, the three initials on your screen, NPG, up on your screen, the scene, or anywhere in between. And today I wanted to stream some Smash and have a Smash story time segment where I'm going to be talking about my experiences playing Smash throughout all the years, and this is going to be a series on my channel. So I hope you guys enjoy me playing some Wi-Fi and talking about the game and all of my different stories that I have about Smash. To start, how did I discover Smash? Well, I was 6 years old when I went over to my neighbor's house and they had Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I was an only child at the time, and they had like 5 kids at the time, and they had a bunch of GameCube controllers, and I would go over there and wait my turn to play Smash, and it was awesome. My first experiences playing Smash were so cool. We would turn items on and we would just play some Super Smash Bros. And it was really awesome. And well, from there, I did not own the game myself for a long time, and I got Super Smash Bros. Whenever I was 9 years old. I got Melee, and I got it for the Nintendo Wii, and I would play with my best friend in 4th grade. His name was Matt, and we would play Melee together for hours. We just loved playing Smash, and we played through the whole game together, and then Smash Brawl came out. Oh, I just killed myself. Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out when I was 10 years old. And with Brawl, we played through the whole game and we beat it together. And when we beat Brawl, it occurred to me that my favorite character for me to play, and the character that I played the best with, was Lucas. And I just loved playing Lucas the most. And so I would play Lucas, and that's how I first discovered Lucas, was in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And well, from there, that's why I'm a Lucas main, because whenever I was 10 years old, I just loved this character the most. And I've played Lucas all these years, and I just enjoy him. I know he's not the best competitively by any stretch of the imagination, but I just enjoy the character. And well, I have played a ton of Super Smash Bros. All these years, and Lucas has just always been my dude. And my first tournament, I actually did not play Lucas. I signed up as a 3DS player, and I played Ness because Lucas was not in Smash 4 yet. So my first tournament, I played Ness, and well, I signed up for my first tournament as my gamer tag nickpaulygee. But when I went to go put my gamer tag in to play Smash, nickpaulygee could not fit in the blanks. So I condensed it to NPG, and I became known as NPG from that point onward. And I have played so much Super Smash Bros. And I've always been known as NPG. It's interesting. It's really cool. And well, my first tournament, I got absolutely destroyed, even though I thought I was like really good, because I'm like really good when I play with all my friends. I thought I was a really good player, and then I went to my first tournament, and I came to find that there was still so much I did not know about the game. And that's what I think is fascinating about Smash, is that there's like so much to learn about this game. And so I learned a lot, and I would travel to tournaments as often as I could, and it was really cool leveling up and becoming a better and better player, all while playing Lucas. And ooh, I caught him with that counter. Y'all saw that? So I have so much experience playing in tournaments. and it stretches all the way back to 10 years ago in around 2016 when I first started going to tournaments. And since then, I'm looking at a bullet list that ChatGPT manufactured for me of different topic points, and I'm just kind of going through them. So my worst tournament ever. I don't know what my worst tournament ever was, because like even whenever I lose, even if I go 0-2, I just like to have a good time playing the game. So like I've never taken note of what my worst tournament ever is. So I don't know what my worst tournament is, and I don't really care to think about it, because ultimately, as a competitor, like I'm a competitive natured person and I want to see myself do as good as I can in anything I do. But I've had a couple of bad tournament experiences, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, what my worst tournament experience ever is. Ooh, he just countered me. So I can tell you that the hardest I've ever lost, there's a couple of experiences in mind, but the one that I have in mind right here, I have two. The first was when I played against Zero. I played against Zero in Dreamland CEO, and this was back in the Smash 4 days, and I played against Zero, and he bodied me quicker than anyone I'd ever played against before. It was insane, dude. And playing against Zero was like an experience that I'll never forget, because he shield broke me like 3 times, and I was just like astounded by how like he would shield break me and he would say good game, like he knew that he won the game right when he broke my shield. And it was insane to me. It was just absolutely insane. So whenever I think of like my time that I got bodied the hardest, it was definitely against Zero. But then there's another one that comes to mind against this guy that's in Louisiana. His name is Zai. His tag is Zai. And ooh, he caught me. And the first time I played against Zai, I actually beat him. He was playing Lucina. And then I played against him later, and he was playing against Palutena. His new character is Palutena. And he bodied me, dude, quicker than like anyone I'd ever played against, dude. Like it was really rough playing against Zai all those years later. And he leveled up a lot as a player, and that matchup for Lucas is really tough, Palutena. So he definitely takes the cake for like my hardest I've ever gotten bodied in recent memory. But yeah, man, I've definitely had my fair share of L's, but Zero, and then I'd say Zai. Because the thing about when I played against Zai is it was on stream, like it's somewhere on YouTube, me getting destroyed by Zai, and it was definitely an experience. Like I was like, wow, I just got absolutely destroyed, harder than anyone I'd ever played against, seemingly. It was crazy. Then my best tournament run. So I've won a number of tournaments in all my time playing Smash. Specifically at the beginning of Ultimate and throughout Ultimate's lifespan. I actually did win some Smash for DIPG tournaments too in Smash 4. So I've won some tournaments, and I've been like a seeded player that's won tournaments before. But my best tournament run was probably at Engage Gaming. There was this business called Engage Gaming in Mobile, Alabama, where they used to host tournaments. And at Engage Gaming, I was a ranked player that played a ton of Smash. There was a league at these events. At this business, there was a league, and at this league, I played a ton of Smash, and they had this whole league system where you were like ranked in the system, and I was a ranked player that played all the time, and they had an invitational, and at this invitational, it was the top 16 invitational, and the winner of the invitational got a sponsored trip to MomoCon, where it was full expenses paid. And I won the sponsored trip. I went on a run because the guys that were in this league, a lot of them were like bracket demons for me that had beaten me so many times. But I actually ended up beating all of my bracket demons that day and winning the event, which was pretty cool for me. And it was a very notable run. So my best tournament, the way I see it, was definitely that top 16 invitational. But I've also won some Wi-Fi tournaments in my time, like pretty big Wi-Fi tournaments. And I've placed well in a number of big tournaments, all while being a solo Lucas player. So I do think that that is really cool that I have so much Smash experience. And then the next bullet point is the first PR player I ever beat. Back in the South Mississippi Smash days, which was so long ago, and I want to bring back South Mississippi Smash somehow. I don't know how to do it, but that would be a dream of mine, is to bring back my local scene. But my first power rank player that I ever beat was a player that goes by the tag Ziggy. And he moved away years later, like some time later. But when he was still down here, he was a Captain Falcon player. And he used to totally destroy me when I first got into playing Smash. And then I ended up beating him. And it was like a moment where I was like, wow, I'm actually getting better at this game, because this guy used to absolutely destroy me, and now I'm taking games on him and beating him. So I'd say Ziggy was the first power rank player I ever beat. But thinking from there, I don't know any notable power rank players. Actually, I do. There's I don't know if he's power ranked in his local scene, but there's a Samus player in Florida named Denny, and he's a high ranked player in the Florida scene. And I went to a tournament in Pensacola this last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, sorry, and I actually beat Denny round 1 of winners. And it was a big upset in the tournament because I was not even seated on their bracket because I'd been out of the scene for so long. So I beat Denny, and it was a moment where people were like, wow, this Lucas player just beat Denny, and it was cool. How my mentality has changed over the years. I definitely have a competitive mindset. With anything that I do, I want to be as good as I can at anything that I put my mind to. But the more I've played this game, I don't care how I place or how I lose, because you're gonna win and you're gonna lose. It just is what it is. Like, you're gonna have good experiences and you're gonna have experiences that are less than, that you want to not really harbor on, but were not your best experiences. So ultimately, I just like to play the game. I don't care how I perform anymore, because I used to be really competitive with this game and want to see myself do as good as I could possibly do, as in win. I wanted to see myself win, but I've kind of changed that mindset, because ultimately part of it is because of what I'm trying to represent with Smash for DIPG. That's part of it. That's why I'm not as competitive. And then number 2, Lucas is just not meant to be a top tier competitive player, a character that is winning tournaments or anything like that. Like, I think he's scrappy, and I think my character has a lot of potential, but ultimately Lucas is just not as good as some of these other characters. So I just enjoy showing up to a tournament and playing my boy Lucas, because my 10-year-old self would be proud of me for playing this character as much as I have throughout all this time. And I just think it's fun to play Lucas. So my mindset as a competitor is just to have fun. Like, I want to hit more PK Rocket combos in tournament. I want to hit people with the PK Thunder and then hit them with my PK Rocket, because I think that's fun. It's actually one of the coolest moves in the game, the way I see it. Like, PK Rocket right there, hit him with it, and then he messed up his recovery. But I love competition, and I enjoy playing Lucas. That's what it boils down to. But why do I still play Smash after all these years? Part of it, the big part of it, is Smash for DIPG. But then part of it is because I just love this game at its core. I think that it's an awesome fighting game, party game, hybrid that people can enjoy for something that's like meant for the family and to be a party game, but something that's also really cool that goes beyond a traditional fighting game. Like, I think it's awesome. I just love Smash. And well, from there, I've played against a number of pro players and content creators, of which some of them may recognize me, but most of them probably would not. But if they did, they'd probably recognize me as a Scrappy Lucas player. And the players that I've played with throughout my time are as follows. In no particular order. I'm kind of thinking about it in a timeline sense. I played against Zero, the Guinness Book of World Records holder, and the Smash 4 GOAT. Zero, I played against him in Smash 4 years ago, like before Smash for DIPG, like in 2017. I'd have to look at when Dreamland's CEO was, but I played against Zero. Then I've also played against Esam at Dreamland in that same event. I played against Fatality, and I played against, what was his name? Anti. He was a Mario player from way back when. And I played against a number of other players. I played against Anti in tournament at that event. And I have played against a lot more players than just those. But I have stories about playing with all of these guys. And then in Smash Ultimate, I have played with Hungrybox on Wi-Fi, and it's my dream to get the whole Smash community's attention with Smash for DIPG and have us create something awesome, which I'll get to later. But Hungrybox I played with on Wi-Fi, and he was playing Ness the first time I played against him. And then we went down to last hit, last stock, and he barely beat me. He hit me with an up air, I remember it. And then I played against Hungrybox again, and he was playing Jigglypuff, his signature. And I took a game on Hungrybox online. And then Hungrybox destroyed me, honestly. Like, he just completely destroyed me. And I remember playing against him vividly. And I've never met Hungrybox in real life. I've seen him at tournaments, but I've never introduced myself and met him or gotten a picture with him or anything like that, because I want to get pictures with these guys one day, because I wasn't thinking of getting pictures with them all those years ago. But I've never met Hungrybox as NPG or nickpaulygee, but I have played against other players too. Like, I've played against Mars, and Mars I met at CEO, at one of the CEOs. I don't even remember which one specifically, but I've played against Mars, and it was really cool playing against the guy that, like, I enjoy watching his videos. And Mars was definitely a cool experience because I didn't take a game on him, but I did hit him with a PK freeze, which I thought was really cool. And I remember playing with him vividly. It was really cool. And then I played against Esam. Now, I've actually played against Esam a few times, and I've mentioned him in my content before, and he's even. What is this guy doing? I've mentioned him in my content before, and he's actually even direct messaged me before. And Esam was really cool because I played him in Smash 4, and he totally destroyed me, right? Like, he just had his way with me. What is this guy doing? Like, what? But I got destroyed by Esam in Smash 4, and then I played against him in Ultimate, and I took a game on him in a friendly set. and he still beat me. Like, don't get me wrong, he still beat me, but it was still really cool to see myself improve and go from getting destroyed by this guy to like actually holding my own against him. So I thought that was awesome. And then in this one time in a doubles tournament, I played against him and his doubles partner NPG, and I was playing in this doubles tournament with my so PK Fire does stop that. That's what I thought. But I played against ESAM in doubles, and it was him and MBD, his doubles partner, and I was playing with my boy Mobtown Hero, and he's a Mobile Zero player, or not Zero player, Zelda player. And why did I PK Fire? No, why did I PK Fire? So I played against ESAM in doubles, and he destroyed me. He destroyed me and my boy Mob. We got thumped. And honestly, MBD was just carrying the load by just dropping grenades from the sky, and ESAM was just dancing all over the stage. And me and my boy were both trying to just kill ESAM. But honestly, I should have been targeting MBD a little bit more. I learned from that experience. They destroyed us. But we were a scrappy team, me and Mob, and we got like 17th in that tournament. And we did pretty good. We made a little losers run because we played against MBD and ESAM like our first round. And they were like projected to like do really well in the tournament. They were a top seeded team. And it was cool playing against ESAM in tournament. And I know ESAM's seen some of my content about Smash for DIPG and like what I want to do, but I need to make better content to make the hashtag grow online and become something bigger than myself. And what I've learned about playing against pro players is you just gotta have fun playing the game, man. Like, because they're beatable just like any other player. And I think that's the beauty of competition in a game like Smash, is like anybody can get outplayed. No matter how good you are, you can always get outplayed. And I just love the fact that I have these experiences playing with these guys, because ultimately I never would have dreamed that I would even take games on pro players before, but it just comes from playing the game. Like they bleed like the rest of us do. They're just really good at the game, obviously. I just dunked a snake. That felt good. See, one of the bullet points of this chat GPT prompt is players that inspire my playstyle. And honestly, I don't think there's anyone that plays like me. and that's just it. Like, I'm not here to be the best player in the world or anything close to it, but I enjoy playing the game the way I play, and I like to go for plays that are unconventional. Fat Croc. The Fat Croc has yet to be seen, Ollie. The Fat Croc has yet to be seen in this stream. The PK Freeze kills him because he did not mash at all. Why Lucas is misunderstood? I think Lucas is a misunderstood character because at a casual value, like at face value, right, for casual players, Lucas is something like a B button clicker that uses PK Fire a lot and uses his other B button moves. But like, welcome to the game, like everybody in the game uses the B button to some degree. And I feel like when you play a character, especially Lucas, and it's a character that's mid-tier out of 80-something characters, like just a middle-of-the-pack character, and you try entering a tournament and doing as well as you can with that character, it's tricky. Like, Lucas has a lot of bad matchups in this game, and I'd had to make a whole video talking about the Lucas matchup chart, for sure. But I think Lucas is a character, and you could say this with Ness too to some degree, but a character that requires skill with the recovery, most certainly. And you have to learn a lot about your character to master them. And I feel like Lucas is a misunderstood character, like, and he's kind of underrepresented because I feel like this character is actually pretty good, but not very many players play Lucas. Oh, a Bayonetta named Will Frogboy. I played against this guy online the other day and he bodied me, dude. Bayonetta's always been like a tricky matchup for me. See, I thought I hit him with that nair, but I did not apparently. But I think Bayonetta is really good. A really good character. Like, ever since Smash 4, this character's just been nuts. I'm really concentrated because this Bayonetta was giving me the hands the last time I played against them online. And I was going to see how I could do against them. Ooh, this is rough. Oh my god, I got up, dude. Cringe. That one got me tilted. I can't even lie, that one got me a little tilted. The most overrated character in Super Smash Bros. I think the most oh wow, and I just killed myself. Who's the most overrated character in this game? Because see, like in Valorant, I think the most overrated character is Jet. Even though that game's totally different than this game. Because Jet is a very popular agent in the metagame that people think is like a must-have on your team. And I disagree with that sentiment strongly. I don't think Jet is as good as people think. But in this game, I don't know who's an overrated character. Kill him. Oh, no. He got out of it. It feels like no matter how hard I try to beat Bayonetta, I just get bodied. And it's so frustrating playing against this character. I have hated Bayonetta since the game allowed Bayonetta to be in the game in Smash 4. I hated Bayonetta, and I still do. Like, even though she's not as overwhelmingly powerful as she was back then, she's still like a unique character that can kill you practically at zero. Like, she can just combo you up, and it's so annoying to me. And it feels like it's really hard to spike her or gimp her. Like, you have to like really call out Bayonetta. Oh wow, I thought I caught her there. Got him with the PK Thunder again. Hey yo, we're still in this game. We're still in this game. Ooh, we hit him with a freezy. We hit him with a freezy. We brought it back on that Bayonetta. Yo, that felt righteous. Dude, I was putting in some work that game. I don't know who the most overrated character in Smash is. I don't know. I'd have to look at a tier list and maybe like come up with an answer. I feel like the tier list is pretty... I don't even know what like source this tier list is from, but it's a pretty accurate one with Lucas at like C tier and with Sonic and Snake and Steve being the best characters in the game. I don't know who the best or the most overrated character is, but the most underrated character, again, I don't know who I would call the most underrated character in Super Smash Bros. But I feel like it's an interesting question. Like it's definitely there. Like, who could potentially be the most overrated character in the game? Like, what character do people think is way better than they really are? Okay, now I think I asked for this. Let me recover high. And I still get punished. This matchup is definitely not my favorite. Ouch. I thought my Zaire caught him, but it did not. Alas, it did not. If I had to main someone else beside Lucas, who would I main? Probably in Smash Ultimate, it'd probably be Hero, dude. I think Hero's pretty cool. Hero or like Samus or Snake. Oh, I just killed myself. No, he's teabagging! Rematch me then. Rematch me then. Which DLC character changed the game the most? Ooh. See, you know, I am something like a DLC hater in general. Like in Smash 4, even though Lucas was DLC in Smash 4, but Lucas didn't feel like a traditional DLC character because Lucas had already had an identity in Super Smash Bros. And they were just reviving him. So DLC in this game has been something that has tarnished the game, the way I see it. Like it's been something that is really unfortunate that it's a part of the game, and ultimately it has been something that has made it to where you put $5.99 on a character's head and suddenly they're one of the strongest characters in the game, and I don't like that. I think that that's kind of cheeky. However, if you were to ask me like what character influenced the meta the most, I'd say Joker in this game. Joker. And then I haven't come across very many Min players, thankfully. But I think Min is a problem in the game and like has been really strong. That is like something that totally destroys the metagame in a sense. Like not even just Lucas, like characters that just totally do their own thing and ruin the metagame in a way. Like they just totally have their way and play differently than every other character in the game, and they're really strong. They're just really oppressive. That PK freeze was cheeky, but I think Min is there, and then I think Joker is there. I think Steve is obviously there. And Kazuya, like so many characters. But like my thing is, when Joker came out, right, I really didn't have a problem with Joker. Like I thought he was really strong, but I didn't think he was like overwhelmingly OP. Whereas some of these other characters remind me of Smash 4 Bayonetta and Smash 4 Cloud, where they're like so whack. Like they're just so whack. Like old Steve and Kazuya. Kazuya is interesting. Steve and Min to me, I'm just like, what are they thinking when they design these characters? Like it's so weird. And it's distasteful. It like takes the game that I once would grind for days and hours on end and makes it not as fun, honestly. But it just is what it is, man. Like some of the DLC characters, I guess I need to learn the matchups more if I want to try to beat them in a big tournament one day, but they're annoying, dude. Craziest pop-off I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't know. Now that you asked that question, I don't know the craziest pop-off I have ever seen. Probably coming from my boy Ricky. He's one of my best friends in the Super Smash Brothers community, and he was my doubles partner, and I just love this guy. He's awesome. He pops off super hard. I remember before we were really close friends and I was starting to climb the ranks as like a power rank player, I remember him taking a game on me in a friendly and popping off. Like he's just an energetic person and he pops off, and I respect that. Like being energetic about the game and popping off when you win, like I get that. That's cool. But what's the best pop off I've ever seen? Probably when I think of one in particular throughout all of my Smash history, probably from ESAM. I think it was at Civil War back in Smash 4 when he beat Ally. I think if that's what I'm thinking of, I think that was a really notable moment and he popped off. That was cool. But I don't know. My favorite pop off of all time. When it comes to me personally, my favorite pop off was when I won the top 16 invitational. I popped off a little bit. Like I never pop off, but I popped off. Like I was like totally hyped. But I'm thinking if there's any other pop-offs that are like noteworthy. Lucas's F-tilt is busted. The best venue I've ever attended. That's a loaded question, bro, because I've been blessed and I've played a lot of this game in a lot of awesome venues. I'd say the one that I go to in Mobile called Gamers and Geeks, it's this big venue. They have a really cool venue. Or even Games and Grub in Florida, in Pensacola, Florida. That was the last tournament that I went to. That was a big tournament. It was 2 weekends ago. And that was a really cool venue. It was like a gaming environment, like where they had gaming PCs, and it was like this really cool gamer environment. They were playing gaming music the whole time, and it was just this really cool ambiance. And it was also a restaurant. Like, it was kind of like a bar and a restaurant. It was awesome. It was such a cool venue, and I look forward to going there again. I vlogged it, me going to this venue. So that was probably the coolest venue. Now, the worst venue experience. I'm just going down this list on ChatGPT and talking about all these topics. So, the worst experience that I ever had. I don't like to look at bad experiences, you know, because it's all subjective, bro. Like, because I like to look at the glass half full. I try to always look at the glass half full. And even if it's something bad, I try to look at it as not that bad. But nah, this one was really bad. I went to this venue in Louisiana, and in this venue, we were shoulder to shoulder. Like, we were just totally up in this venue together, and you could barely breathe, bro. Like, you had to make sure you're wearing some deodorant, because if you were not, someone was smelling you, bro. It was crowded, right? And not only was this venue crowded, but it was also in the peak of summer, and there was like bad AC in the building. Like, there was like not very much AC, and it was just an experience that I'll never forget, where I was like, wow, this is an experience. Holy guacamole. Okay, this fox is hit me with some moves, man. Got him with a PK freeze. Yo, cheeky PK freezy, cheesy PK freezy. So the worst tournament experience was definitely the one that I went to in Louisiana, and I don't even remember what the name of the venue was, but it was just so hot and sweaty, and it was miserable. It was crazy. But then my longest tournament day, probably any of the major tournaments that I've been to, like in MomoCon and CEO, some of those events, because they're long tournaments, and it takes a while before you play in tournament, and you have a little bit of tournament nerves. It was really cool though. But those were the longest tournament experiences I've ever had, playing in like the bigger events like MomoCon and CEO. Yeah, he got me. That Sheik was good. Good game, Mr. Sheik. Good game. I'll even rematch you. Biggest upset I've ever witnessed. It wasn't the biggest upset ever, but whenever I beat Denny at the tournament 2 weeks ago, there was a guy who started calling me the Denny Slayer, which I thought was funny. And honestly, I think upsets are just part of the game, and they happen, you know, to anybody. Saltiest opponent. I have been a rather salty opponent at times. I sure have. I know I have, and I'm working on that, taking my losses in stride. But whenever I think of the saltiest opponent I've ever experienced, it wasn't me that made it happen. It was at a tournament a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And at this tournament, one of our players in the scene was named Mr. Man. And he was a really good Diddy Kong player. And Mr. Man beat this guy, and this guy that he beat was at the time a fully grown adult, keep in mind, which was part of what made it funny. And this fully grown adult proceeds to windmill his controller. Like, he was so upset that he just lost this, and it was just absolutely hilarious, honestly. Like, I try not to get toxic or encourage toxicity, but this was hilarious, dude. Like, seeing a fully grown man like totally spaz out, it's hilarious. It really is. And that was a moment I'll never forget, seeing that happen. And like, no matter how angry I've ever gotten at this game, I have never felt the need to like display my anger by going outside and windmilling a controller. Because if you're that upset, dude, like if your emotions are getting that much of your full attention, like if you are that upset, there's ways of releasing that anger without totally looking like an idiot, dude. Like, it was just funny. It's funny seeing someone rage and throw their controller is actually pretty funny. How to practice effectively. I feel like there's ways of practicing tech. Like for Lucas, it's double jumps cancel there. Like, I did not know that was a move whenever the game first came out. And I feel like you could practice different forms of tech for your character offline and lab it to where you hit them more consistently. That could definitely help. And I'm a big believer in Wi-Fi. I think playing against players online helps you get better at the game. And people hate on Wi-Fi. People are very quick to say that Wi-Fi doesn't really help you or anything, but I feel like it does, because you're still learning how to play against an opponent. And sometimes Wi-Fi kind of sucks, granted, but I think sometimes Wi-Fi is the best option. Like, it is what it is. It's something to help. Even though it's not as good as playing offline, of course, it's still something that helps. Ooh, I messed that up. Common beginner mistakes. I'm not a Smash coach, and I don't think I would be too good at like teaching beginners, but I'd say one is probably rolling too much. I think rolling too much could definitely be a problem, and you should try to not roll as often as using other movement mechanics. Ooh, he caught me there. How to review your VODs. Watching yourself play is smart. Watching yourself back, because there's always something you can improve on. Always. And as a streamer, I play because I enjoy the game. And I don't even care to just win. I just want to enjoy the game and stream it. Ooh, will that kill him? That'll kill him, right? No, it doesn't kill him. Now he's dead. How to beat nerves? Just have fun with the game. No matter the situation, you want to go in there and have fun. That's what the game's about. That's why you're playing this game, is to have fun. Win or lose, you just go in there, you click buttons, and you have fun. Why fundamentals matter? Learning fundamental Super Smash Brothers, like tech chasing and ledge trapping, is huge. And no matter what character you're playing, knowing these fundamentals and knowing how to extend combos and like play your character the best to your ability is a huge part of playing the game. Why movement is everything. Movement is the name of the game, schmovement. Trying to hit your opponent with moves that they haven't seen before, like that B reverse magnet. Y'all ever seen that? Ooh, saw me move there. Ooh, got him. He's trying to dunk me. He's trying to dunk me. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought I caught him with that. That killed me, bro. Get out of here. Yeah, movement is huge in this game. Knowing how to move fluently with your character and how to get around the stage optimally and how to use your movement to outplay your opponent's movement. That's big. What makes locals special? Locals are where you get to enjoy playing the game, and you meet people in your area that also enjoy playing the game. You meet other players, and it's cool. And my locals are relatively small, and I don't know how to get them to grow, and I don't know how to bring my local scene back, honestly. But I really want to try to do that eventually. I want to bring my local Super Smash Brothers events here in South Mississippi back, because I feel like then we could have a spot here. It could even be my house here, because my house could host a tournament up to about 30 to 50 players, I imagine. I really do believe we can make this house something really cool for the Smash community here on the Gulf Coast. And I feel like we can get Louisiana and Alabama and Florida all to come over here to my house, and we could smash it up and have some really cool Smash for DIPG events right here. But we're going to start small. It's probably going to be less than 10 players in my tournaments, in my events here out of my house, but I look forward to making them grow. And why locals struggle nowadays? I feel like part of it is because it's just a rather small scene. Like Smash Ultimate and Smash in general has a global audience, right? And I think that is really cool, and it's hard to tap into that, especially as a streamer. It's hard to tap into the Smash community. But I feel like locals are small because the game feels flawed in a way. As much as I love it, I can play Smash all day, every day, even when I'm losing. Like, even when I'm losing games, I just love the game. But I feel like it definitely is a game that is flawed because of the DLC mainly, but it's got its problems. And I feel like Smash Ultimate is awesome. It's an awesome game, but unfortunately the downloadable content has made it to where it's less than, or it's far from perfect. And I think that's part of the reason why the Smash community has shrunk throughout time, like, and it's not growing. And I want Smash for DIPG to help grow the community. That's part of my dream for this. And I don't know how to make that happen, but I'm working toward it by getting my local scene back up and becoming a part of my local scene. Instead of just streaming, I'm going back out to events, and I'm trying to make this hashtag grow online somehow. But I don't know ultimately why locals are not gaining more momentum, but I love the game, so I'm going to keep going to my locals. Online versus offline Smash. I've already touched up on this, but online, I kind of hate how you can't taunt. I think that's kind of whack. But online Smash is definitely different than playing offline, because offline there's no input delay, which is awesome. And I feel like even whenever I play online, the input delay, it's not that bad, but it's there. But I feel like online is definitely subpar to offline, obviously, if you've played them both. Advice for new tournament players. I have tried to give this advice to so many new players that I meet at tournaments, but play characters that you enjoy playing, obviously, right? Like, you want to play characters that you love, and don't care whether or not you win or lose. Just go in there and play the game and have fun with it for what it is. The origin of Smash for DIPG. I made a whole documentary piece talking about this, but essentially I created this hashtag, and my dream for this hashtag was for it to become a global movement of the Smash community coming together to fight for a cause that's bigger than Super Smash Bros. And I didn't know how to make this hashtag grow, and I still don't. But I just know that I have to be the one that initiates it, ultimately. And it's going to become something much bigger than myself, something much bigger than Smash. And I got to keep doing my thing. I got to keep live streaming every day, and I have to keep trying to make this hashtag grow, because what I have in mind for this hashtag is for it to become a North American gaming festival, something huge that the Smash community's never seen before, and something that gets a lot of attention, that deserves it, because it's going to become something so huge for DIPG awareness. And well, I don't know how to make it happen. I don't know how to make the hashtag grow online, and I don't know how to get the right people to see it and see what I'm trying to do here, but I'm working toward making it a reality. The Smash for DIPG at its core is not about how much money we raise to fight cancer. It's about us creating something that's going to become bigger than the game, and to show these families around the world that we are there fighting with them, and we are contributing to a cause bigger than ourselves. And my dream is to create the most epic charity gaming festival that we've ever seen before, in these families' honor and in these children's memory. It's going to become something huge and awesome, and it's going to go way beyond traditional competitive Smash. And I just have to keep grinding to make it a reality. I got to keep making content about it. I got to keep dreaming big, and one day I'm going to make it happen. And it's not going to be just me making it happen. It's going to be us. It's the Smash community. And I look forward to pushing it to become everything it can possibly be. This cause is going to become something that goes global, hopefully, because this North American Gaming Festival is going to become something so awesome that the world of Smash and the world at large is going to think that it's really cool. And I want to bring back my local Smash scene in the process of making this happen, and I want to get this hashtag to be discovered by the world at large, starting with the Smash community. To me, success with Smash for DIPG looks like the Smash community using the hashtag, and us organizing this charity gaming festival and seeing Smash communities around the world using the hashtag Smash for DIPG to make tournaments a reality and create something that's going to be awesome, something so cool for the Smash community. And I feel like success is going to come one day, and it's going to come slowly but surely. Like, with me putting myself out there and talking about this, I feel like Smash communities are going to want to be a part of it, and it's going to become something really awesome. Because ultimately, Smash for DIPG isn't about Smash at its core. It's about us creating something awesome for DIPG awareness. Dude, Mega Man is such a good character. Oh, I thought I hit him with that PK freeze. Oh, and I healed that, bro. Okay, whatever. Whatever, bro. Whatever. I feel like when Smash for DIPG becomes successful and more Smashers around the world are using the hashtag, and it's becoming something much bigger than myself in my local Smash scene, it's something that goes beyond Smash, it's going to be really awesome to see it and how it affects the Smash community and what all this is going to become for Smash and for gaming as a whole. It's going to be really cool. But I got to keep it pushing, man. I got to keep it going. I got to keep posting about it. I got to keep up the grind, because Smash for DIPG isn't going to create itself. And this is something I've dreamt about for a long time, and I'm going to keep going on the hustle. Wow. That was a cheeky little combo right there for the W. I would love to hear you guys' input as to how I can make Smash for DIPG grow. How can we make Smash for DIPG grow? Because I want this to become something much bigger than myself. And right now, and how it's been for a long time, I am the only person using this hashtag online. And my dream for this is to see hundreds and thousands of posts of gamers and people all over the world using the hashtag Smash for DIPG. That'll be a form of success that I'd only dreamt of. And I am back in the Smash community. These past 3 weeks, I've been going out to Smash tournaments and I've been vlogging. Because my original dream, my original idea was I was going to join 100 Thieves, which is still my dream. But I thought I was going to join 100 Thieves first and become a full-time live streamer first. And then we would get the ball rolling on creating Smash for DIPG. But now it's dawned on me I've had it in the wrong order. And I'm going to get the ball rolling on creating Smash for DIPG, get some traction with this, and then eventually I'll join 100 Thieves. But I don't know how to make that happen, ultimately. And I'm working on it. It's something that is a daily process of like me putting myself out there, live streaming every day, and using this hashtag and trying to get this to grow. But I really don't know how to, ultimately. Because I want it to go beyond my local scene, but I don't know how to make Smash for DIPG grow. I don't know how to make myself grow online. I don't know how to get people to check out my content that I make. I don't know. I just keep doing my thing. And I hope that one day it all makes sense. If you guys want to help create the movement and join this movement, y'all can help me by leaving a comment down below, or liking my videos, or showing any support online that you can. And one day this is going to become something huge, and you can be a part of the foundation of it and helping it grow, and it can be really cool to look back on. I stream every day at twitch.tv/nickpaulygee, and I play Super Smash Bros. And I play Valorant, and they're two totally different games, and they're both my identity pieces. They're my two main games that I stream every day, and they both serve different purposes. Like Smash for DIPG is obviously about Super Smash Bros. So I stream Smash to establish an online following for Smash. And the thing about streaming for me as a small streamer is Super Smash Bros, right, has a fraction of the viewership as Valorant has. Like in other games, like it's hard to grow streaming Smash. It just is. So I stream Valorant primarily because I can grow a community with Valorant. I can tell people that I'm live streaming and get people to check me out online and check out my streams, and I slowly gain followers by playing Valorant opposed to just playing Smash. I'm a one-man show. I stream, I edit my own content, I make my own thumbnails, and I do everything on my own. And that's a part of my story. Like I'm all alone doing this. And that's why I dream of Smash for DIPG gaining traction somehow. And there's so many ways I dream of Smash for DIPG happening. I could see someone in the Smash community talking about this idea of us having this massive gaming festival for cancer awareness. And I could see someone liking that idea a lot in the community, like Hungry Boxer Mars or ESAM or the commentators, like someone with a bigger following than just me. I could see someone like that talking about it and then it becoming a reality by us making ideas for this and making it happen. And I could see from there so many people getting involved and it becoming real. Okay, I'm getting absolutely owned by this link. Wow, this got 0 to death. Gotcha, Jack. Gotcha, Jack. Gotcha, Jack. Yo, I got 0 to death that game, and I brought it back. Brought it back on him, boys. Let's go. You know, this path that I'm on to become a full-time live streamer and a content creator and create this epic charity gaming festival and join a professional gaming organization. Not everybody can do what I dream of doing. And it's a road less traveled by. There's days where I feel like I'm on to something huge, and one day it could happen any day that I become a big time creator online. But then there's other times where I feel like I'm shouting into the void, where I am not really growing much online and I don't know how to get myself to grow, and it's rather discouraging, but I keep it going because this is what I love. I love gaming and I love streaming, and I'm gonna make it all make sense one day, especially with this awesome charity gaming movement. And well, I would appreciate any support from you guys that I could possibly get, because we're gonna make this something awesome. Gotcha, Luigi. See, I work full-time for my family's business, which is also part of my story. But I work full-time, and I love the fact that I get to pursue my dreams after I get off work. I get to come home and create content and game it up and be nickpaulygee. Yeah, no, you're not dunking me, sir. But I'll footstool you, my boy. I'll jump right on your forehead, boy. Oh, how did that not kill him? Oh, I had the read. He's dead, yeah. My favorite Nintendo game is the Pokemon series. If I had to pick one, I love Pokemon. My favorite non-Smash game is Valorant, a first-person shooter for PC and for console. And Valorant's taught me a lot about gaming and how you play the game because you love it, and ultimately sometimes things don't go your way when you're gaming. But the beauty of it in a game like Valorant is you can always come back. You can always make it happen if you put your mind to it and you don't lose your mental, because your mental is the biggest part about gaming and having fun all the time, trying your best to always have fun. And if things don't go your way, don't get discouraged. That's a huge part of gaming, and in sports and in esports in general, just having fun with it. That's huge. Games that have influenced my competitive mindset. I've only played a couple of competitive games in sports, but Smash, bowling, baseball growing up, and Valorant, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty for a couple years. Those are my main ones, but I do love gaming in general. Best competitive game ever made? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I think one of them is Valorant. I think Valorant is a beautiful game, dude. It's so awesome, especially the fact that it's free to play and it's such a satisfying game to play. It's amazing. I love Valorant. I could play Valorant all day, every day. The funniest SD I've ever had. I wish I had this on camera. I think it's on stream somewhere on the internet. I have to look for it. But I was playing against this guy named Poet from Florida, and we were in Mobile, Alabama playing on stream. And he was playing Pac-Man. And we were in game 3 of our set, best of 3, last game. And to start the game, I do a PK Rocket. I PK Thunder, and I hit myself, and I PK Rocket. And I drag him across the stage on Smashville, and I fall off and die. I killed myself at 0%, but I did some damage to him. And I brought the match back and won it, which I thought was really cool. My best doubles partner that I've ever had is Ricky, for sure. I feel like me and him are pretty solid together. He plays Ganondorf. His tag's Beast. And he plays Ganondorf. And we break shields with me using PK Freeze and him hitting shields. We break shields together. And it's been really fun playing with Ricky throughout the years. But then I'd say my other best doubles partner I had was SZB. We would double up in some of our tournaments. And we doubled up. And he was the #1 ranked player in Mobile. And we would double up and we would put in some work, and it was fun. It was fun playing with SEB. I haven't spoken to SEB in years, literally so long. In conclusion, I have been in this community for about 10 years now, and I have a lot of stories, and I want to grow the hashtag Smash for DIPG however I can. And I'm going to do that by me telling my stories and by going to events, talking about the idea of us creating this. And eventually it will come to light and become something awesome that the Smash community looks forward to. And I want to hear from you guys, anybody and everybody watching, to give me some suggestions on how I can make this a reality, and I look forward to doing it together. This has been quite the stream, and I was pretty much just talking to me, myself, and I the whole time. I am a small streamer with like an average of 1 to 3 viewers all my streams. And I don't know how to make myself grow. I don't know how to get the Smash community to see my Smash content. I don't know how to get the Valorant community to see my Valorant content. I don't know how to grow online at all. I have no idea. I just know that I enjoy creating videos and live streaming. And one day it'll all make sense and I'll become a full-time live streamer. One day. But I don't know how to make that happen sooner. And I feel like it'll happen when I get the ball rolling on creating Smash for DIPG and making this a movement. So let me know what you guys think about all this and how we go about creating this. Much love, internet. Peace out.